Yo, this is Jay from Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, we're going to be bringing you the post-Week 8 power rankings. Pretty interesting week here. We had some upsets. We had some really good games. We also had some injuries, so it'll be interesting to see how that affects the rankings. Like I said in all the videos, this is a new series that me and Orb are doing. It'll either be me or him making the video, but the list is combined of me and his opinions. And yeah, they just adjust based on how the team plays, roster, injuries, stuff like that. Starting off first, you got the Carolina Panthers at 32. That's where they were last week, so they did not move. And if anyone was wondering, Bryce Young still sucks. I mean, I don't really know if it's his fault. He did not have his two number one receiving options. But yeah, the Panthers, I think by far, are the worst team in the NFL. There's no questions about it. 31, the Tennessee Titans. They did not move anywhere from last week. By far, I think the Titans are the second worst team in the NFL. Nothing else. Like, you can't argue that in my book. The quarterback play is not good. Mason Rudolph started this week. I didn't really pay attention to that game much. I just know they got blown out by the Lions. At 30, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They dropped 2 spots mainly because Christian Kirk done for the year, and also Brian Thomas is out 2 to 4 weeks. So with those two injuries, that hurts this team more. And who knows? It seems like Travis Etienne's always questionable. I have him in fantasy, and he's like questionable every week. So I don't know his injury status, if I'm being honest with you. But the Jags, they just have not put together a good season. They have a good roster. They got a good quarterback. The team just is not clicking, so they are sitting at 30 this week. At 29, you got the New Orleans Saints. They dropped 2 spots. The Saints just aren't good. They still have a lot of injuries. At 28, the New England Patriots, they move up 1 spot. They ended up getting the win. Drake May got hurt, and they still ended up winning. That's why I moved them up 1 spot. If you lose your starting quarterback, and you can still win a division game, that's going to count for something in my book. 27, you got the New York Jets. They dropped 6 spots. The Jets just aren't good. I mean, I don't know what else you could do here. You fired your head coach. You switched up play calling. You got Aaron Rodgers' best friend, and the team just is not playing well. I'm not sure what the problem is here. The Jets, they just aren't good, so they dropped 6 spots. At number 26, you got the Cleveland Browns moving up 4 spots. This offense looked a lot better with Jameis Winston at quarterback rather than Deshaun Watson. So they named him as the starter. They got a big division win over the Ravens, upset them. So they're going to move up a total of 4 spots. At 25, you got the Las Vegas Raiders. They move up 1 spot. My reasoning for moving them up is they hung in there with the Chiefs. It was a close game. I think it was a 1-score loss. Brock Bowers looked good. Minshew looked a lot better than he has in recent weeks. Mahomes, he's still throwing picks. So Raiders, they played better than I expected. At 24, you got the New York Giants. They dropped 2 spots. Mainly they're there because of play calling. I don't really think Daniel Jones had a bad game. This was a 1-score game. Obviously, Daniel Jones didn't get into the end zone. The run game was all right. But the play calling's just not good. They were in it from the first half, and they let them pull away in the second half. So something's not right with the Giants. But overall, I do not think this Giants team is really that bad. I think they can go ahead and upset some teams. At 23, you got the Miami Dolphins. They move up 2 spots. I don't think they ended up winning, but the offense looked a lot better with Tua at quarterback. This was like the first fantasy relevant week Tyreek Hill's had since the Tua injury, so that is a plus. Hopefully the Dolphins can take that and keep moving in the right direction. Arizona Cardinals at 22. They move up 1 spot. They got the win. Marvin Harrison looked good. Kyler looked good. They got the win. I think this Cardinals team would succeed a lot more if they got Marvin Harrison more involved. But hey, it seems like when they do, they get wins. So right now they're sitting at 22. At 21, you got the Indianapolis Colts. They dropped 1 spot. They lost. Kind of an interesting thing going on with them and Anthony Richardson. They haven't committed to a starter yet for Week 9, so that'll be something to watch for. At 20, the Los Angeles Rams, they move up 4 spots. This team's finally getting healthy. We got Kupp and we got Puka back. Puka looked really good. Kupp got into the end zone. They ended up getting a big Thursday Night Football win over the Minnesota Vikings. If I'm being honest with you, I probably shouldn't have won it. There was that missed face mask call for the safety to end the game. But hey, we'll take the win. We need it. That division is still really close. At 19, the Dallas Cowboys, they drop 1 spot. Cowboys just aren't good. I mean, this was a game that they had a chance to beat the 49ers, a team that's actually still pretty good. They were in it. They could not pull it out. They ended up they fell down. Too many points too early, and it was just too much to overcome. At 18, you got the Cincinnati Bengals. They dropped one spot. The Bengals, they lost to the Eagles, and the team, like I said, same thing with the Jags. They got a good roster. They're just not putting it together. I'm not sure what the Bengals' issue is, but they're just not good this year. At 17, the Chicago Bears, they dropped one spot. They had a heartbreaking loss to Jay Dales and the Washington Commanders. Jay Dales hit the Hail Mary to win the game, so it was a close game. They mainly dropped because of the loss. At 16, Denver Broncos, they move up 3 spots. Bo Nix has looked really good. They get the win. And the Broncos, they're actually sitting, I believe, at a 5-3 record. Honestly, kind of surprising if you asked me at the beginning of the year. I would not think the Broncos would be at this point with that record. So, hey, props to them. Bo Nix is looking really good in recent weeks. So, if they keep doing that, maybe we could see them get in the top 15 next week. At 15, you got the Seattle Seahawks. They dropped 3 spots. They had a really bad loss this week, which is going to knock them down. I did think the Seattle Seahawks were a good team, but it just seems like whenever they're faced with a better team, it seems like they kind of struggle a little bit. They lost to the Falcons, so that's something to look at. And then at 14, you got the Los Angeles Chargers. They move up 1 spot. They're only moving up 1 because it was a win against the New Orleans Saints. An injured New Orleans Saints. They didn't have Derek Carr. They're missing their wide receiver too. So I mean, they beat an injured team. I'm gonna move them up 1, but I'm not gonna overreact to the win. At 13, I got the Atlanta Falcons. They move up 1 spot. They got a win against the Seahawks. I think those teams are evenly battled, evenly rated, so they got a win, so they move up 1. At 12, you got the Green Bay Packers. They dropped 5 spots from last week, mainly because of the Jordan Love injury. I know it's a groin injury. I know that Malik Willis came in and led them down the field to get the game-winning field goal, but those groin injuries, they can linger like a hamstring. So I know it's day-to-day, but hey, who knows in the end with those groin injuries. At 11, you got the San Francisco 49ers. They move up 2 spots. They got a good primetime win over the Dallas Cowboys. The offense looked good. McCaffrey should be coming back. Jordan Mason did get hurt, but with McCaffrey coming back soon, I'm not too worried about that. At 10, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They drop 1 spot from last week. The Bucs played good, surprisingly, with all the injuries they have, missing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Cade Otton stepped up in a big way, so they dropped 1 spot. But overall, the team did not play that bad. And at 9, you got the Philadelphia Eagles moving up 2 spots. Jalen Hurts looked really good. I believe he had 3 rushing touchdowns. I had him in fantasy this week. I ended up winning because of that. So, yeah, Jalen Hurts in the offense, they looked a lot better than they have in recent weeks, in my opinion. So if they can keep doing that, maybe they can keep climbing these rankings. At number 8, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers moving up 2 spots. They got a primetime win against the New York Giants. The offense looked good. They put up a lot of points. I don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are really that good. I think if they went on to play some of these other top teams, I don't think they would come out on top. But if they're going to keep winning, I got to keep moving them up the rankings. That's why they're sitting at 8 right now. At 7, you got the Buffalo Bills. They move up 1 spot. This offense is looking a lot better now that they're starting to get Keon Coleman involved. James Cook is still a monster. Josh Allen's still a good rushing quarterback. So if they could rely on people like Amari Cooper, Dalton Kincaid, and actually get Keon Coleman involved more, I think this offense will be a lot better, as we have seen in recent weeks. At number 6, you got the Minnesota Vikings. They dropped 2 spots, mainly because of the loss to the Rams. The Rams, they were an injured team. And to be honest with you, with how the Vikings were playing, I did not expect this game to be close, healthy or not, for the Rams. But the Rams were able to do it, so that knocks the Vikings down 2 spots. It was kind of a bad way to lose based on the face mask. That's why they're still sitting at 6. At 5, we have the Houston Texans. They stay neutral. They got a win this week. At 4, Baltimore Ravens, they dropped 2 spots. Bad loss to the Cleveland Browns. That's a division game that you're going to want to win. So they dropped 2 spots. They still are a good team. It was a close game. They just couldn't get it done in the end. At number 3, Washington Commanders move up 3 spots. This offense looks legit. This team looks good. Jaden Daniels looks like a stud right now. If you ask me who I think the MVP is, you can make an argument for Jaden Daniels. So the Washington Commanders, they're good. I got them as a top 3 team right now in the NFL. At number 2, you got the Detroit Lions. They move up 1 spot. The offense was clicking on all cylinders this week going against the Titans. David Montgomery threw a touchdown. He rushed for one. The offense looked good. And at number 1, you still got the Kansas City Chiefs. They did not move at all from last week. They're still undefeated. As long as this team is undefeated, I'm going to keep putting them at 1. This Chiefs team, they're good. Mahomes is just turning the ball over a lot. I would hope that as the season goes on, he gets better and starts protecting the ball a little bit more, because obviously once you get to the playoffs, you don't want to have those turnovers in the playoffs, because that is the time of year that it will come back to bite you. And it actually matters because it's a one and done in the playoffs. But these are our power rankings. Go ahead, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. These are subjective. These are just opinion based. Everyone has their own power rankings as to how teams are going. You guys might think the Steelers are good. Go ahead and comment that down below. Let us know what you think. But when it comes to this video, that's all we got. So if you enjoyed, please remember to like and sub for more Madden content. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.